afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for April 7th, 2022, Thursday, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. We're having a reverse aging health call tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern. We all have the ability to have a calm strength. When you focus on the very center of your body right now, you imagine roots of light shooting down from here deep into the center of the earth. Rest in this calm-rooted energy here for a few minutes. From this place, you can effortlessly manifest anything. Surrender softly. There is an infinite power within you, every one of us right now. There's two avenues, two, I guess you could call them secrets for a happy life. See the perfection in the seeming imperfection that seems to be. See the perfection in the seeming imperfection that seems to be. Lester Levinson. This world that we all live in can be a very busy, intense, and deeply complex experience. Every day, we are dealing with ever-increasing technology that can complicate the natural human experience of life in an invasive and personal way. It seems that in order to find real happiness in this situation, we need to balance out life's complexities with an approach of absolute simplicity. It is truly from coming back to our natural, simple ways that we'll find real meaning and the clarity to truly enjoy our daily existence. Life's problems might be very serious and complicated, and yet the answers are always surprisingly simple. The first simple secret to find happiness, or to discover it in our daily lives, is to develop an unstoppable habit of appreciation. When we feel appreciation for what we have and don't have, or what we're doing and not doing, for what is working and not working in our lives, we discover more awareness inside. We are aware of who we are being in the world and why we are being. This way, and life expands to a whole new dimension. The divine attitude of gratitude is a powerful place to live from because it completely relaxes and heals our mind on a very deep level. There is a sweet, deep acceptance of our life and others' lives exactly the way it is. And this energy allows us to see, feel, and know the bigger picture of our soul's life plan. What causes us pain is the opposite of gratitude, which is the desire to have more. That burning, yearning, lacking feeling of desire makes us forget about appreciating life and others. The mind has this habit of chasing desires all day long. It's always feeding itself with the next tantalizing morsel of what will make its life better. The mind yearns for something bigger, better, more amazing to improve its existence. And when we end up following the mind around, we end up feeling lost in life, as if we didn't have anything better to do with our day. We become like a robot that just obeys what the mind says. And when the mind says this is good, we smile. And when the mind says this is bad, we frown. The mind is a tyrant that we need to step back from if we are to become free from it. It simply needs to see and feel a deep, heartfelt appreciation for the life that is all around. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. Melody Beattie. The painful issue we all have as humans is that the mind is set on fulfilling its desires no matter what. The desiring mindset, blinds us, and not until it feels happy will it stop. What we need to do is realize that we are the master of the mind, and we can relinquish our attachment to its ever-pressing list of needs, wants, and desires. It's not that desires are bad, it's just that our attachment to fulfilling them leads to forgetting the divine experiences of gratitude, love, and appreciation. It's like when we fall in love with someone, the mind needs them more than it needs our own heart. And we stop falling in love with ourselves. The Platters once sang, their music group from way back, someday you'll find all who love are blind, and when your heart's on fire, you must realize smoke gets in your eyes. Remember that song? Someday you'll find all who love are blind, and when your heart's on fire, you must realize smoke gets in your eyes. There is hope for humanity. We can learn how to find peace within ourselves. No matter how the mind shows up for us, we can merge with our hearts and put the burning, desiring mind on the back burner. In the heart, we can find it's easier to relish our daily challenges, seeing them as opportunities, and use the great healing, loving gift that life has given us. In the heart, we don't avoid the negative and only seek the positive. In the heart, we don't avoid the negative, and we only seek the positive. We tend to see and feel the positive within the negative in all things. You ever done that? In the heart, we tend to be open, accepting, and allowing for life to come into us. The totality of existence is naturally caressing our heart and soul every day, as it's our job to appreciate this gift however we can. Life loves us and is constantly throwing itself on top of us, devouring us with its fierce, loving presence. We know life loves us because the body-mind naturally heals itself, and we are infused with deep soul lessons every day. When we are listening for the lesson, we can become free beyond comprehension. To be really alive in this lifetime, we must choose to get beyond wanting more, needing more, having more, and being more. We must choose to let go of thinking there is something better than this moment. We must choose to know with knowing there is always something bad in the good and good in the bad. To develop a repetitive habit of authentic appreciation can seem huge and daunting, yet the reality of it is truly fun, enjoyable, and effortless. The feeling of appreciation is our most natural state. As children, we all lived in such awe and wonder of our universe naturally. We saw how everything was connected to everything, and we experienced each new thing with fresh eyes of clarity. So this childlike state is still inside us. The consciousness is here. We simply need to become vulnerable and innocent for it to come through. Getting in touch with our inner child and true, playful, trusting essence again makes our relationships with family, friends, health, money, and everything more amazing. When ego is lost, limit. When ego is lost, limit is lost. You become infinite, kind, beautiful. Yogi Bhajan. In the world of manifesting, it's all about releasing attachment to the physical world and trusting that something higher is behind it all, creating it all through us. The grand intelligence is overseeing it all, so we can sit back, relax, enjoy this amazing ride. We are the divine microcosm within the macrocosm that can also flip to become the macrocosm peering into the microcosm. We don't have to be the over-controllers of our destiny. That's why it's called destiny, because you have no control over it really. The best response we can have is to sit back, appreciate what lessons we are learning here now, enjoying our every breath while it lasts. It is the greatest balancing act of all, to allow ourselves to be out of control while outrageously in control, knowing how to relax, have fun, not take life too seriously, because we are letting go, letting God handle all the details. As the old saying goes, whatever will be, que sera, sera. By letting go of control, which is hard for many of us, and trusting life in one instant, we can shift and see and feel that this is an awesome universe all around us and inside us. We can actually feel love for the predicaments, problems, and challenging situations we're facing right now. To find real happiness within our everyday issues, we simply must check inside and see how often we are following the desiring mind set. Are we behaving like a lost puppy, following the mind wherever it goes? This blind following is the act of forgetting the feeling of being in love with our lives and being a slave to needing, wanting, and always having more. The second secret to finding happiness every day is about having a very conscious and sensitive relationship with our mind. When the mind starts to dwell in negative, how do we respond to it? Do we believe that what it's saying is the whole truth? When the mind focuses on the negative, we must immediately release all identification with those thoughts, and then we are free. It's not that there is any rejection or avoidance of the negative mind. It's more of cultivating a higher awareness, which tends to naturally live beyond all negativity. This secret boils down to being aware of our mind's basic nature, which is always about thinking, judging, and not being one with all that is. The mind is unaware of itself. It is the consciousness that is aware of the mind. Awareness is always the key to freedom. We can make a conscious decision to accept or ignore a negative thought pattern that continues to plague us. When we are in touch with our feelings, we can be exquisitely aware of any negativity that may creep in its way in and stop identifying with it. This divine sensitivity to our feelings, thoughts, and overall life experience empowers us completely. A life of conscious awareness is the most liberating experience of all in this life. You know deep down there is no possible way that negativity can take over your mind or emotions. In this state of freedom, we find the natural feeling of appreciation for this life wherever we are. If you could only keep quiet, clear of memories and expectations, you would be able to discern the beautiful pattern of events. It is your restlessness that causes chaos. Zergadata Mirage. So it's basically the two secrets to happiness come down to practicing two things: love and awareness. Truly, it is the simplicity of this basic formula that makes it profound, practical, and work powerful for us in our daily lives. Because it is so simple, we can easily remember it and live it. Find walking through life along this two-step path of love and awareness allows a deeper relaxation to occur inside naturally. This relaxation enables us to experience mastery of our existence, where we can surrender to life and enjoy everything, even more. Through this deep relaxation, we just give deep, eternal love to everyone we meet and find an even higher quality to our awareness. The magic formula for happiness is not a luxury for the few. It is essential. We all have access to it. When everyone knows how to live life from a truly awake, empowered space, we will have a free and peaceful society. When everyone on this planet knows how to live life from a truly awake and empowered space, we will have a free and peaceful society. This direct and simple approach opens us all to think outside our normal patterns of thinking and see a bigger truth inside us that liberates our soul. We all need to remember that we are spiritual beings utterly and essentially. Finding this spiritual connection in our real selves is not only the best way to deal with the highly intense and technologically demanding world, yet the only way we can find real joy while living within its very grasp. A new type of thinking is essential. If mankind is to survive and move on to higher levels, a new type of thinking is essential. If mankind is to survive and move on to higher levels, Albert Einstein. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure that we all are, and the very first thing that we care to do is relax these bodies that we are in, because we are not the body. We are the God within the body. We are the kingdom of God. We are the heaven. We are the higher self, the soul, the spirit. And through our breath, easy in through the nose, easy out through the mouth, we will relax the body. The breath is divine positive energy. We, the gods, enter these bodies, power them up, everything goes online, the lungs start to function, and the breath is created. And once we have the breath, it is omnipotently powerful and magical. Because without the breath, we, the gods, would be forced to leave these bodies. The breath stills the ego mind and the subconscious mind. It stills it. It means that you leave it alone. And see, in the now, focusing on the breath, the ego mind does not exist. It knows it cannot go into the now, because in the now, it doesn't exist. So it will do everything it can all the time to keep you out of the now and in the past or the future or both. Either in the past or the future or both, but never in the now. And when you do this, you're able to watch the ego mind and the subconscious mind. This is how we master them. Then we identify thoughts and things that come in, and we know that they are not ours, that's the ego mind pumping that in there. Or that we get a certain way, emotionally, right? Or something starts to push us or drive us. And we'll identify, that's ego. Okay? And then it vanishes. Once you identify the thief, the sneak, it dissipates, it goes away. And each time, you do the same thing. That's ego. And sometimes it's overwhelming. And sometimes we'll embrace it. We'll embrace the ego. And we'll get caught up. For example, the ego can drive somebody who is kind of in the background, doesn't cause any ruckus or anything. And the ego mind says, you got to go show them. You got to show them who you are. Okay? That's ego mind. I'm better than you. Ego mind. I'm going to take revenge on you. Ego mind. You cannot and will not ever be at peace if you allow the ego mind to control you. You just won't. It won't happen. You'll always be in turmoil, dissatisfaction, wanting and needing more and more and more. So the breath is paramount, absolutely paramount. Now, we know to be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with ourselves at all times, and be in the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude. And not be hard on ourselves and not come down on ourselves and not ridicule ourselves. Because we do float off. You can be in the now, focused on your breath. All of us are, hopefully at times. And then these thoughts come out of nowhere. We generate, each of us, over 60,000 thoughts every day. Then we've got tens of millions and billions of thoughts flying by like clouds in the sky, which aren't ours. They're like programs. Might as well call them programs. And they come in, and they seem so that our name's on it or something, and we just, well, that's my thought. And so we enmesh in it, we get enmeshed in it, and the rest is history. But you get to the point where you go, that's not my thought. And if I'm carried away out of the now, I can focus on my breath and be in the now 3,000% of the time, which is all the time. Now, when you look inside that body that you're in, now you know the body isn't your name, isn't your character, isn't your personality, isn't your status in this life. The God, you're the God in the body. So when you look inside the body, you see 7 lights going from the tailbone to the top of the head. What are they? Well, they're beautiful. Each one's a different color. And they're colors that are way beyond anything you've seen color-wise on this planet. And so they're spirit etheric energy. We, the gods, are spirit etheric energy, cosmic energy, omnipotently powerful. We flow through these. They're connected to these bodies, emotion, insecurities, all your feelings, all the biologics of the body, right down to the quantum quark. And because we have this amnesia going on, and we don't remember things about who and what we are, then we're kind of separate from the understanding that the gods that we are know these bodies intimately, and we are the power of healing. And we will learn and discover through the journey within that we will be able to heal these bodies no matter what's going on with them in a blink of the eye. And as we progress, there'll be a lot more things you'll be able to do with the body that you lost your memory. You don't have the memory of it. So you're in that amnesia tunnel. Now picture 3 paths. You're in the center one, standing there, staring at it. The one on the left, one on the right. Now, you can't tell, they're constructed the same. They have these trees that have formed a canopy, and the trees are shimmering gold, the leaves, the branches, the bark, everything. And the path itself is this vibrant, brilliant, emerald green, flaming grass, or it appears to be grass. And they're all the same in that perspective, in that respect. But you do notice that the one on the left, the past, is really worn. And the one on the right, the future, is really worn. So you know immediately that most of the traffic, most of us go either the past or the future or both. Now, we all reminisce. We all have memories, and we visit them, and we enjoy them. So we have our own library. our own kind of entertainment. And it's the subconscious mind, which copies everything that the ego mind does, copies everything, period, copies past lives and puts them in that library. This is why to master is when you can keep that library organized, clean. You're always taking stuff and tossing it and making room for new stuff. So we'll go up there, we'll open the door, turn on the light, go to some of the shelves, pick up some movies, books, and pictures. We'll sit in an easy chair, we'll watch the movies, we'll read a little bit of the books, and we'll look at the pictures. And it's fun. We've all done that. We reminisce. It could be a song that sparks it. It could just be anything, really. And we reminisce. And we review. And we live it a little bit again, and we say, this was really fun. And it's a really good reference for us. And it helps us be even more grateful. But we don't stay there. We'll reminisce and everything, and then we put everything away, turn off the light, shut the door, and move forward in our lives. And on occasion, revisit. But some of us stay there so darn long that we end up taking the past into a future that doesn't exist. We create that past from that future, and we relive that past in that future. This is why a lot of people will say, no matter what we do, we always end up here. All of us go in the future, even though we're creating the future in the now. We go into the future because we want to know things. Isn't that right? We're all curious. We want to know things. We get antsy. We get in a hurry. Our patience wanes. We get frustrated. So we want to move things along. We want to hurry them up. Let's get this done. I want to get this done. And so when we do that, we seek external authority. Like when is this going to happen for me? When am I going to be able to buy this new house? When am I going to be able to get this new car? When am I going to have enough money to enjoy my life? When am I going to have all this? And so we ask people to tell us. Psychics, astrologers. We go through all of that. And then they tell us. Tarot readers, they tell us. And we embrace it a lot of the time. And then we gain expectations and attachments to it because an external authority told us. And then we get to the time where it was told to us that this was going to happen, and it doesn't. And we suffer. We're frustrated, let down, sometimes depressed, very disappointed. And isn't it interesting that we all do that at times when every single answer to every single question is within us. It's the journey within. And we spend all this energy seeking outside of ourselves. Now, we write our futures in the now because the now is all we have. And isn't it ironic? We spend most of our time in the past and the future. And we walk right over the now. That's why the now path that you're standing on is so brand new looking. It isn't worn at all. Being in the now is absolutely paramount. Focusing on the breath, which is the now, is paramount. You can do it during the day. You can do it walking around. You can actually do it whenever you choose. Now, we know that parts of the gods that we are asleep. Other parts are awake to a certain extent. Now, the ones that are asleep, they will wake, parts of us, they will wake up in their own time. They just don't participate in anything. We deeply love them just as much as we deeply love the parts of ourselves that are awake, consciously aware to a certain extent. Now, we entered these bodies. We power them up. We know that. We know we're not the body. And we are the heaven. The gods that we are in these bodies, it's the heaven. Heaven is not a place. That's a matrix trick. We are the heaven, the kingdom of God, the source creator, the God, the pure consciousness. So when we enter these bodies, we're heaven on earth. Heaven the God, body earth. And we consciously know that every step we take, we're creating paradise, literally. And we're shining our light. And our light is from the love that we are created from. And it is unprecedented. It is the highest of the highest high vibrational frequencies. So we flood this planet. On it, in it, above it, and below it. Permeate and saturate it. Infinity and beyond. Now, picture that there's roughly about 8 billion. Forget about all these other figures. And humanoid form. And not including all the trees and all the other physical forms that gods are inhabiting. This planet literally glows. So if you were to take Starship off the planet, out far enough where the planet looks about the size of a basketball, and you see it glowing, just a ball of white light, then you look at all the lights around it in the universe, and you notice that they seem to be really pale, dim. It's like a candle lit in a dark room. There isn't any light that can compare to it. So we're God planet paradise that grows, being liberated by the love that we all are. It's amazing. Now, our numbers are endless. You could, just for the heck of it, say that we're in the Googleplexes. One Googleplex will fill this universe with not even 1 square inch of sacred space to spare. You trillions of Googleplexes from trillions of universes. And we're focused on this planet for its complete liberation. Elimination of all lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. And this is all the light energy beings. This is the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, the masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Vedantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. This is all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. This is all of our loved ones who have sent out a body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. This is all the off-worlders, galactics, and celestials. Now, the light energy beings on this planet, on it, in, above, and below it, because of the eyes that we have with these bodies, we only see 1% of what is. So the light spectrums, red, infrared, violet, ultraviolet, blue, ultra blue, green, ultra green, but they come in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, and configurations. There is a group that these bodies are absolutely dependent on part of this group. The fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, the magics, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur. Now ask your body, can you survive without water, without air, without earth, without fire, without wood, without ether? And the answer is a big no. Us gods would be forced to leave these bodies if they did not have air or any of those elementals. So these bodies are so dependent on them, and we take all of them so much for granted. It's like always being in gratitude for the elementals. Now they send masters They've ascended into physical form. They have mastered physical form. They have ascended out of physical form, and they hold pure consciousness God form. We have ascended into physical form. We are in the process of mastering physical form. We are creating our experiences to perfect our creations. Now, the off-worlders, celestials, galactics, over 1,000 species, civilizations travel through the solar system every day. Remember, there's well over 160 planets in the solar system. Trillions throughout the universe is every day. There is a group that we're familiar with, a small group. Pleiadians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Sirians, Feline, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Paramenovium. This particular group has been assisting us in our physical evolution, our enlightenment, our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. Now, the archangels, cherubim, seraphim, archetypes, their civilization vibrated a different frequency than we do. That's why we don't see them like we see each other, but the gods in their bodies and the gods in ours are one. They meet with us. We don't always identify that, but we do at times, and it's usually after we've interacted with them. Something just dawns on us in our heart that we say that had to have been an angel. You know, you're looking for help, and out of the clear blue, someone's there to help you. Or you're down and someone comes into your life and lifts you up. But there is one message. And they've been delivering this message for a long time because they know we have amnesia. And the message isn't it absolutely magniglorious, splendiferous, fantastic, stupendous, spectacular, wonderful, marvelous that we're alive in these bodies? And it is. Because, see, the reason we take these bodies for granted is because we can't. How do we compare? We don't know that we are gods, most of us, in these bodies. And we don't know what it's like because we don't remember to be a god outside the body. So we go into the body and we lose our memory of our past lives or whatever. Then it's like starting over every single time with amnesia. No reference point at all. But believe me, when you leave that body, right, and you go out in the sacredness of space, you don't eat, you don't drink, you don't taste, you don't feel like you would with these bodies. You don't see through these eyes. You don't make love, you don't kiss, you don't hold hands. You don't cry, you don't smile, you don't laugh. You can't, walk out in the nature and take it all in. Feel the air on your face. None of that. We don't do any of it. In fact, we forget very quickly when we decide to leave these bodies of what it's like to actually taste food. I kid you not, it goes fast. It disappears fast. You ask your spirit, you remember having a sandwich or this or that. No, I can't. I don't remember what it tastes like. I don't know what the texture feels like. Wow, that's something. So when you visualize that through your heart minds, that your bowl of pure, deep, eternal love, which is omnipotently powerful energy, and you say, I'm really, really, really deeply grateful for being in this body to experience physical life. And then you fall into gratitude about everything. There isn't anything you aren't grateful for. And you don't just do it on occasion, you do it all the time. And when you do that, watch what happens. Without expectations, major shift occurs. And as long as you stay in gratitude, that shift stays constant. Now, we're all together. It doesn't matter if you get tricked in thinking that we're all separate, because we reference the body and we're all separate. How can we be one when we were apart from each other? That's the illusion. So whether it's 9,000 billion light years away, we're still one. We always will be. So here, focus on this planet, we're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. We're all one, and we're all God, and we're all love. And our God force, love, light, energy, isn't all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to grow, intensify, and expand. We immediately form a white fire circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This emanates from the gods that we are. It is pure, deep, eternal love. And it saturates, permeates, floods this planet, on it, in it, above it, and below it, 24/7, infinity and beyond. Now we begin to ascend. We come into full contact with this massive ocean of glitter. Not like an ocean of glitter you'd see on this planet, way beyond. And we try to figure out, the best way to describe it as close as we can get. So we come up with a massive grand finale fireworks display way beyond any we've had on this planet. Same with a laser-like grand finale show and the ballroom globe, which you shine light on it and it reflects and it floods light everywhere. Except this one's a trillion times larger and a trillion times more intense. So we take those, we combine them into one massive crescendo. And that is as close as we get to describing the ocean of glitter. Now, we're curious, so we look at the reflective points, which are everywhere, and we get close enough and we see these little tiny microscopic mirrors, perfectly etched. We enter them, and we discover that all of us, on countless numbers of us, are teaching each other and learning from each other all the time. Doesn't matter what physical form we choose to be in, but we're all teaching. A bird may teach you something, but you don't notice it because you're too distracted in the material physical world. A dog or a cat, a bug in the rug, a fly on the wall. But they're every bit, like the tree, we were told that the tree is life. In actuality, the God enters the tree, just like we do with these bodies. We enter the tree, we light it up, we give it life, and just like the elements do for us with these bodies, the elements of the planet help the tree, and we give the tree life. And so the tree sustains us so we can experience the tree. It's no different than anything else. You want to know what it's like to be a rock? Well, go within, focus on the breath, focus on the rock, and for a brief moment, you'll know exactly what it feels like to be that rock, or anything for that matter. We immediately are met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that we are the gods that we are, the power of healing. We are then met with the violet blue purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are within these bodies, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that we are protected from head to toe, inside and out, 24/7, infinity and beyond. No lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, no demon possessions, and no attachments ever. See, they can't encroach upon us because of this frequency that we keep so high and deep eternal love, which is the highest of the highest high frequencies. They vaporize. They leave us alone. But only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, consciously or unconsciously, your hatred, anger, greed, fear, revenge, hurriedness, envy, jealousy, dishonesty, manipulation, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Now you have possibilities, demon possession, attachments, all kinds of happenings. Now, if you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with a double column of light. First part of this column is the purple transmuting flame. We created this part of the column to remind us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are, no more. Then the second part of this column of light is the violet ray. We created this part of the column of light to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we created, the gods that we are within these bodies, to remind us all that we are the sun, sunlight, sunsets and sunrises, rain and the rainbows, oceans, rivers, lakes, streams, trees, forests, soils, animals, sky and the clouds, starlit night sky, mountain view, endless. So the next time you see any of this, and we've been taught forever that, look at that, isn't that beautiful? And it is beautiful. But we forgot that we're not separate. And so we look at it through our heart minds and we say, that is the God that I am. Not the head, not the ego mind, but the heart. That's the God that I am. That ocean front, oceans, rivers, lakes, streams, that's the God that I am. That mountain view, that's the God that I am. Now we continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us decide to step outside of our physical form, hover effortlessly above it, if we're carrying physical form. And we do this because, number one, it's absolutely a joy, it's fun, and we can. And we come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower. We created this tower, larger than the solar system and beyond. In the center of the column, we discover this massive oblong sphere. Center of the sphere is this golden white ball of light. It, in turn, is surrounded by multicolored rings of light that seem to go to infinity and beyond. Now, all of this creates this super bright white misty cloud formation. Okay? It's beautiful because it's flickering and reflecting like nothing we've ever seen. And it's absorbed through our heart-mind motion picture. And it feels like a warm embrace that never ends. Now, we discovered that the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest. Eternal love. And then comes well-being, gratitude, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, massive prosperity, and massive abundance. And we discover that all of this is a reflection of the gods that we are within these bodies. Now, at the top of the column, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees. What is the golden ocean? It is the love that we are all made of, the gods that we are. And it's saturating, permeating, flooding this planet on it, in it, above it, and below it, infinity and beyond. Now, we are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops of the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. Now we see our meditative sphere. It's that center circle. We created this sphere over 4 years ago. It holds almost 1,900 of our meditations in perpetual motion. Think about that. Through the heart mind. Hundreds of millions of us on and off world, consciously aware to a certain extent. Flooding this planet with the pure, deep, eternal love, the highest of the highest high vibrational frequency, saturating, permeating, flooding, on it, in it, above it, below it, infinity and beyond. All these meditations, every day over 4 years, 7 days a week, with the highest of the highest high intent and deep eternal love. They continue to expand, intensify, and grow. This sphere can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And to access it, this moment right now contains the very experience you have been searching for your whole life. So what are you waiting for? Do not hold back today, no matter what. Go for it. Let go of hesitation and procrastination, and you have just opened up your vibration to receiving unlimited possibilities. So join in a meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Be still. When one person lives every day from what their true infinite potential is, an amazing shift will happen for everyone. A contagious reaction of a new consciousness will occur, and our whole planet will wake up. Everyone will experience themselves as this infinite source. Believe it or not, the one person to start this chain reaction is you. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. We will return here tomorrow at 3 p.m. to continue our Global Guided Meditation call, Friday, April 8th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, and our Reverse Aging Health call, 9 p.m. Eastern.